Right, here we go. We have a Necropolis Grail match between Zupamann in the grey, playing as Franks, and the Bug Sauce playing in the blue as Japanese. So Japanese, probably a decent counter to Franks, considering they have great infantry, and so their pikes will do great against Franks cavalry. However, Franks of course have throwing axemen to counter pikes, but then again, Japanese have samurai, a unique unit that have a bonus against other unique units, should it come to that. But I favor both choices here. Japanese could exploit Lake's fishing bonus with their fishing ships with double HP. That means they're more difficult to contest on water. Japanese solid pick here for a kind of a, I wouldn't call it hybrid map, but at least a map with some water like these ones. Then again, Franks always good on open maps, good save overall, have their berries foraging bonus, so they collect berries faster, so you could get food income boost, and not to mention their farms upgrades that happen automatically. You don't need to research horse color and these kinds of things. So great bonus for Franks there as well. So looking at the scouting a little bit here, Zupamann using sheep to scout wisely. They're playing at fast speed, so it's a lot of things to attend to even quicker than normal. Looks like he's about to find his first boar here, and the other boar, where is it? Hasn't been brought in just yet, so there's some potential idle time for Zupamann here. No, both boars are here, so he's fine, he's found both of them. Nice boar placement and bug sauce on the other side here. Is doing some nice scouting work as well. Boar in the back there behind the woodlines, not ideal, but he's gonna bring the town home just fine. Unfortunately for him, the sheep spawning just outside of line of sight here, so I think the scout might not find these in time. And he may also be struggling a little bit with the second boar, or has he found it? It's over here. So compensating for missing sheep here by bringing in some deer, so I guess, or anyway, finds the boar, he's fine here. So now let's just do a little bit of fast forwarding. Nice pond for Zupamann here. If he goes for the water, he has the pond pretty close to his base, but that could be set with bug sauce as well. It's slightly further away for him, but he has two ponds here. Potentially only one deep fish in this pond, though, so maybe here. I'm not sure if this is crossable by ships, maybe, maybe not. Oh, thanks for telling to change overlay. Here we go. Good thing we're not too far in here. Now should be fine. And hello to Mr. Zupamann. Nice to tune in. I think I'm gonna just fast forward a little bit here. Not too much going on in the early game here. Maybe a slight bit of only scouting mostly and these kinds of stuff. So slight villager lead for bug sauce here. Shouldn't be too significant. Just like less than half of a villager in the production here. But Zupamann already taking loom. Is he? Yes, he's going for the field age at 20 pop here. So that definitely suggests the scouts opening. Here comes the barracks. And bug sauce also walling off a bit and going up somewhat earlier. Maybe he's thinking about an infantry style opening, but he didn't drop the barracks yet, so he could also be going straight for the archers here. Field age is in for Zupamann, and here comes the stable. So the uptime should, of course, suggest for bug sauce, who admittedly has limited scouting here. He can't know for sure what his opponent is going for. And here's the scout in place for Zupamann here to stop the last bit of walling here. So this could be the entry point, but 3, albeit weak villagers coming in for bug sauce here means the scout can't engage and the walls will go up. So there won't be an entry for the scouts here unless there's a hold somewhere, but I think there isn't. So let's see how Zupamann adjusts this. He's still queuing a few scouts, could use them to gather scouting intel anyway, and his scouting is on par here. Has some decent vision on the map. So gold placement's not ideal for either player. It's a forward main gold for bug sauce here, and main gold to the side here for Zupamann, but then again his side golds or neutral golds are further away, so not ideal at all for either of the players. This one is pretty safe for bug sauce at the moment though. But I don't see any... Yeah, there's the barracks for Bogsos, so he wants to have some spears at the ready just in case scouts break in somehow. So both there's at the same pop now. Neither of them have gone for the ponds here, so no bonus food income for either of them just yet. That's not to stop them from going for... By the way, Bounce Knock, did I just call you Zupamann? I meant Bounce Knock. Sorry about that. I must be struggling a little bit. But the overlay should be working now. As we see the scouts taking some hits here, trying to break in. Not really going to succeed here. It's of course easy to quick hold behind there and maybe between the stargazers here or something, but still annoying to have to deal with it, and at fast speed at that you need to react, obviously. But players staying at consistent villager production here. I'm gonna have to have a look at Bogsauce's eco here. Surprisingly enough, pretty similar to Zupamann here, even though Zupamann has invested the scouts, and Zupamann floating more food here. That could be the berries income, which is depleted, so he might have gone a bit more heavily on berries than usual here. Has also dropped a dock, so he's the first one to dock here. Has the scouts on the field, probably going to use them to gain some scouting intel now. Or just hang around on making sure his opponent won't be docking here. But both players very close villager wise here now, and Zupamann opting for the archers here. Maybe wants to make sure stop any quick walling from happening. He goes for the skirm here. No significant upgrade just yet, but the skirm will also help prevent quick walls just behind the palisades here, so that could leave the scouts with an option to actually break through here. Scouts with no upgrades as of yet, but Frank's cavalry, they get extra HP going up to the next age, so they have more than the usual scout. We see going to look for Bogsauce scouts here. There it is. He has 45 HP, and the Grey scouts have 54 HP. So if the Japanese player opts for scout on his own, he will need to have bloodlines to match the Frank scouts here. But it doesn't look like he's going to let Zupamann break in here. Harassing a little bit with the skirmishers here. Of course, that also negates any possible archers from Japanese Civ player here, but he hasn't gone for any archer line units just yet. So scouts break through the palisades, but there are house walls behind here, keeping the scouts out still. Now going for the house here, but these foundations are more or less completed. Still keeping a bit of a track on villager count here. This is Zupamann going for the pond with 2 fishing ships out, so he's actually behind in actual villager numbers, but has more food income as a result of it. Let's look at Bogsauce's eco here. Only is now soon only missing the gold here to click app is dropping a market as well. Could use that to adjust a little bit. Also on stone here with two villagers. I don't really see him going for the castle and samurai, so this could be just in case of for defensive towers or more TCs or whatnot here. Just a moment here, somebody wrote me on Steam. So scouts doing wicked might just break through here actually, but there are spears at the ready here and probably some quick walls behind house wall. So scouts could ready now, but here's even a quick stone wall here. So Bogsauce here could be looking to stone wall his base actually, just to make sure any cavalry aggression just doesn't get in. But at the cost of losing his own scout here, we see both players researching Castle H as well. The fishing eco has paid off for Zupamann here, even investing into the scouts early. He has 4 fishing ships, his opponent doesn't have any. Means that the food eco of Zupamann should be slightly stronger here, even after investing in the scouts and skirms here. and still just being generally annoying here, idling some villagers here in the base. This is basically just a means of annoying while buying yourself time to... See, he's going for the second bond as well. If you're really going for that fish income, that's going to help a lot in the Castle Age. Once you go for the Knight line and continue it forward here, I wouldn't be surprised to see anything else from the Franks here. Forward siege now added for Zupamann. So both players in the Castle Age. I don't think Boxhouse would be able to see the siege workshop going up. That's certainly going to help him in the advance here. And unfortunately for Boxhouse here is that this gold is his only gold at the moment. He's actually TCing his main gold now, but since he doesn't know about this forward siege workshop here, this TC could be denied very easily once the Mangonel gets out here or whatever the plan is here. Scouts still doing work now, assisted by Knights with a +1 as well. They won't be getting through just yet, but with a ram or some kind of siege here, working to break through the walls as well. Zupamann should be able to get in here and do some real damage very soon. And Boguslaus very much on the defensive here. Doesn't really have any golds inside his base. He could, of course, try and secure this one. Maybe... Actually, these probably aren't considered stragglers, so you can just take those down. But here comes the monastery, so ready for the Knights forward there. Base looks pretty cramped here for Boguslaus, but not at all impossible to expand. He's TC'd this main goal now, as mentioned, but now has some siege firing away at some skirms as well. The Knights need to back off. Some Scorpion defense as well. They will do decently against the skirms here. Can shoot through walls, but this constantly being forced on the defensive like this for Boguslaus isn't as far from ideal, and the siege push will probably just continue here from Zupamann, really dictating the pace of this game now. Adding more Knights. Look at the military count as well. It's 12 to 3. So, I'll just say fun set. Alright, man. Thanks for tuning in anyway. I'm looking forward to seeing the games, Zupamann. So, massive military lead for Zupamann for the moment, but the Japanese player now adding Mangonel, so we saw as well. Could probably get some hits in on the skirms here. Skirms have no upgrades, so they will be even more vulnerable to Mangonel fire here. But this TC looks like it's just being not being prioritized now for Boguslaus. He's getting the gold though on his side gold here, so he has gold income. Doesn't look too bad eco-wise. You could even drop a defensive castle now. That should put a stopper to any siege forward here. I don't know where he wants to put the castle foundation, but this could be a candidate just to secure this gold from the forward. Bounce. Bounce duck don't need to watch. Yeah, there you go. He's just peeking in to steal some tactical advantages, you know. See ya. So Japanese player with Knights of his own here now, but going down to Mangonel fire here, but here drops the defensive castle. Actually on the gold is already mining here. It's not ideal since not all the builders will be allowed to build this castle. And it stays unbuilt for now. Actually, it could have maybe... Probably hard to finish it here because of Mangonel fire, but if he could somehow have dealt with the Mangonels here, he could still have maybe deleted his own barracks here and forced more villagers to build, but at what cost, right? He's now left with a lot of idols here, 20 idols for Boguslaus here. Going desperately heavily on stone here now, and now look at the Knights having broken through on the upside here as well from Zupamann. Not looking too bright for Boguslaus at the moment. May or may not need to bail on this castle foundation as well, but it kind of acts like a wall as well, so I can see why he doesn't delete it so as to let more knights in. But villager counts decreasing for Bog Sauce here. It's down to 58 versus 66. His eco is still able to allow some production here. Now dropping a couple of barracks here, so he wants to some pikemen out to deal with Zupamann's offensive. But Zupamann's eco definitely stronger here than his opponent here, and Bargos desperately wants this castle up, but how do you finish that without dealing with the mangonel behind here? Yes, with the Japanese you could go for Yasama towers and some guard tower defense here, and that could keep the siege at bay as well, but can certainly see why he really wants this castle to finish. But there is an opening here as well where the knights could run. Let's look at the castle HP here. I need to go to Bogsauce's POV to see if he's actually able to finish it. He is, but at what cost? Is already damaged. He has stone to repair it, also drops another defensive castle inside his base here. Now also repairing his TC here, so he's committing to repairs here, doesn't want to lose his buildings, but still losing villagers in the process. Look at the village count here, 73 to 38, and Bogsauce simply taps out. Understandably being under constant pressure from the Franks player here, and also not too lucky with the pawn generation here. There's a Franks dock even in this pawn, so Bogsauce not really even allowed to exploit the pawn's advantage either. So brings the set to 1-0 for Zupamann here, and we'll be moving on to the next game shortly. We'll take a quick look at the stats as well before moving on. So military eco-tech, total score almost 2000 more for Zupamann in the end. 58-25 KD says something about the constant forward pressure. I think maybe they don't want TC the whole game here. No, actually extended to 2 TCs, but then there are the pawns as well. That's a wood commitment, but basically free food eco for him as well. Largest army 20 for Zupamann. Bogsauce never really able to match that. Was playing it maybe a little bit too defensively behind his palisade walls and barely any army production early on. Also the fast uptime of course paying off for Zupamann here. Nice 20 pop scouts build. He was able to get scouts at really only harassing the walls to begin with, but still puts your opponent in the position needing to quick wall and try to prevent forward from getting in. So let's move on to game 2 here. Game 2 will be on Arena, which is Bogsauce's home map. Well, let's just dive right into it. I'm gonna bring the old layer back up, of course. Here we go. So the map is Necro Arena. This is Bogsauce's home map. And we have Spanish for Bogsauce. Suggests, of course, Conquistadors play, unless he wants to be really ballsy and go for the feudal action and tower rush, but you don't see that on Arena a lot. I'm expecting a forward or defensive castle drop and into Conquistadors and map control for Bogsauce here. On the other hand, we have Zupamann with the Lithuanians. If he can get to Lytis, he should be able to counter more or less anything that the Spanish player can throw at him, because Lytis ignores the armor of its opposing units, and if you have the relics as well with the Lithuanians, you get +1 attack per relic, up to 4 relics for the knights and Lytis. So that could be the play for Zupamann. He really wants to get the relics here, but look at the short distance between the two players here. Here's one relic here, there's one close to Bogsauce as well, but then there's a couple of relics close to Zupamann. I think Zupamann is up early enough, he shouldn't have any problem securing the relics here, but we'll have to see. Let's just speed up a bit, because there won't really be too much feudal fighting on Arena, so I'm assuming both players will opt for a fast castle here, so let's just fast forward to the actual fighting here. Well, we have a scout fight. Looks like one of them will lose the scout. If Zupamann loses his scout, that's huge for Bog Sauce if he goes for the castle drop here. Because Zupamann won't necessarily have the map vision or the scout to see if there's a castle coming forward for him. In the event of a castle drop, I guess this would be a natural option for Bog Sauce to drop it. He hasn't scouted this area yet. But a castle on this side could block the gate, it could block some gold income and also the secondary stone for Zupamann here. Of course, a bit awkward to build a castle here for the castle drop, but on the other hand, you have some natural barriers here as well to make the actual pathing for units a bit more awkward, especially for the opposing player. So again, let's just fast forward a bit to see whoever gets to Castle Age first here. I would kind of expect the Lithuanian player to do, because he does start with an extra 350 food here, but he's also dropping farms already. That goes for both players. Bog Sauce is a slight villager lead here, but that's also because Zupamann is already on the way up. Can he possibly support a straight fast castle here with this uptime? No, I don't think he can, because his food situation looks kind of less ideal here. He's dropping the stable. He has 400 something food here now. Has a bit too few on berries, I think, and too few farms to go straight for the next age here. So we'll be committing a little bit to feudal here now at 24 pop, while his opponent is going up at the 26th pop, or 27th pop rather, to the next stage. I think this already leaves Bog Sauce with an economic advantage. He will get to the feudal age. He seems to also be struggling, maybe potentially a little bit with food here. 4 on berries, a couple on sheep, and only 3 farms out. I guess he now is also long distance hunting the deer, so both players have deer spawning inside. That's good news. But even Loom coming in for Zupamann here. Could he be going for the castle drop idea? I doubt he will, but of course that would slow his opponent down as well. But not directly straight fast castle for any of the players here, and I think Bog Sauce is the one getting best out of it, because he's now at 29 pop, garrisoning the builds for an extra little bit of food here. Needs to draw a force drop again. Here's the Castle Age tick, and he will definitely be first to Castle Age with 29 pop, and still with his opponent clicking up just behind, but arguably with a little bit more unbalanced eco behind it. Just 13 on wood for Zupamann at the moment, and is dropping a few farms here, but he has the stables though, so he wants to claim some map control here with scouts, I'm sure. Or even knights. The Lithuanian player will of course be desperate for relics, so he will go. There is also sending another villager to gold, so he has 3 on gold. So getting to the Castle Age tick. Now let's follow Bog Sauce's scouting a little bit here. Sticking around the edges here, looking for somewhere to drop. I wish he had scouted over here as well, because that would be a fantastic place to drop. Deny even a relic here at this side. So a castle drop here would be fantastic for the Spanish player, just to deny gold, deny relic. We see some movement there, lots of villagers, but he's going straight for the castle drop on the walls here. Understandably as well, because walls line of sight is limited. So Zupamann won't see the castle until it's up now, dropping the monastery. He is of course in the castle age himself. So we'll have some defensive conks already with the monastery up, but doesn't see the castle drop. Bog Sauce with the preemptive house walling here, doesn't want to be disturbed here, but here's a knight on the field, but that knight won't be able to do anything, and the knight actually doesn't even spot the castle here. So the castle will go up for sure. You could use the castle to attack the wall and then just move straight in with some conks once you have the production going. Let's have a look at Bog Sauce's eco here. Nice food eco setup here for him. It's 10 farms and a couple of villagers of gold, sending a few more to gold here. And should be able to sustain conquistador production nicely here. And if you can get through the walls, could be an early GG already for Zupamann, just mainly going for the boom here with a little bit of knights to reinforce it. Here, even dropping a TC outside here, that's dangerous. Should any forward siege be coming at some point here. But Conquistador is out, ready to snipe the monk. The castle takes care of the monk here, so that's bad news for Zupamann there. So you see Conquistadors in production here for Bogsos. Not completely consistent here, maybe too few on gold yet. So he's not consistently producing army here, unfortunately. But he's getting there. He has his fort, he has the castle there. Surprisingly enough, he doesn't have the castle attack the walls, so he won't be going in just yet. Archery range coming up for Zupamann, also a nice preemptive defensive measure here. Skirmishers or other elite skirms will do nicely against conks if they can get close enough. There's still the mobility issue of the conquistadors though, and here we see consistent conquistador production from Bogsos right here. Zupamann going for the boom here, 3 TCs. It's 1 TC play for Bogsos for now with his castle drop. Means he will be more easily able to afford army here. Guarding this relic with his very weak scout. Could of course still pick off a monk, but there are knights on the field as well. Though Zupamann hasn't collected any relics either. But the Kongs come out on the field, should probably be able to deal with the knights here. It's 4-2. Knights hit and run from the Conquistadors, gets one without taking a single hit. Here comes the hit, but cleans up the Knights here, and the army is down to 4 for Zupamann here, with that being skirmishers. Also housed in the middle of this, that's the fast speed doing work as well as lots of multitasking going on here. More monks on the field, monks of course, nice counter to small groups on Conquistadors. They are easily converted, after all. But looking at the population, it's pretty similar. Zupamann with 45, Bogsos with 39 villagers. Military slightly higher for Bogsos here. Still surprised not to see him trying to break through the walls and do some real raiding here. Maybe even adding some siege or whatnot. But here come a few more conquistadors. Could be that the main priority of Bogsos here is also to actually deny the relics or pick them up for himself, securing that later gold income. But meanwhile he's letting Zupamann boom away here with his 3 TC boom and not really doing significant damage to Zupamann here. That could be hurtful for Bogsos later on, but he has the military lead, still able to do some damage. Could potentially be considered a lack of scouting here for Bogsos as well, because he hasn't seen this side at all, doesn't know there are resources there. Might be seeing the house foundation there now, so finally he's paying attention here on this side. Will maybe spot the TC here as well. If he chases these villagers, he will see the TC foundation. Perfect opportunity for some siege on this side just to deny this TC. The eco of Bogsos certainly suggests some siege forwarding here or just consistent production of Conquistadors, but he's idling the castle quite a lot here between the volleys and could have had more military by now. Should it come to the late game for Bogsos, he has siege ram, Lithuanians do not. So a halb siege ram push could be hurtful for the Lithuanians players, although Lithuanians do get hand cannoneer in imp, so they have and nice champions as well, so they have the opportunity to counter halb siege forward, of course, but that will also be a means for Bogsos to break through his not producing consistently from the castle, so that suggests to me that Bogsos is mainly using Conquistadors for the map control here. He has a total of 10 military, that should mean 9 Conquistadors for him, unless he's lost his scout as well. Now there are monks as well, so maybe 8 Conquistadors total. But he's using them wisely, guarding the map, collecting the relics for himself. There's only 2 relics for Bogsos here, only 1 for Zupamann. This relic is off bounds for out of bounds, so Zupamann would need to pass right next to the castle to pick that one up, but this one has been secured by Zupamann, and Bogsos now meanwhile bringing in this relic number 3, so he will secure himself some nice free gold eco here. Now bringing in relic number 4, so no relic bonus except the 1 relic for Zupamann here. Not ideal for the Lithuanians, but it's still a free +1 for his knights. It's managed to get Paladin, full upgraded Paladins as well, so they could potentially contest Lithuanian knights or paladins without relics, but now Zupamann has 1 relic, so that's already a +1 advantage. Look at another castle being dropped by Bogsos here. I guess it's a decent castle. I would love to see that even a little bit more forward, but still it denies some unit movement through the gate here, and I think this castle will go up with the Conquistadors protecting here. I don't think, however, that this castle will be able to reach the TC here, especially considering it's still only 8 no fletching, no Bodkin arrow for Boxos here. Also attacking the houses meanwhile means to render his opponent homeless here, but lots of buff saves for Zupamann, so that shouldn't bother him too much. And military for Zupamann as well. He has some elite skirms in the range, so he's ready for any conquistadors moving through his base, and also wants the stone wall behind there, but is never going to be able to complete any stone walls behind the Spanish castle here. And Imperial Age is in for Bogsauce. Traps in queue. Let's look at Superman's eco. It's still quite far away from the Imperial Age click here. His building foundation inside the base here does restrict any melee units movement though, but with traps to force the walls and buildings down, I think Bogsauce is in a very good spot here. Bogsauce with the weaker eco though is only on it's on 3 TCs actually, but he's still behind the villagers from his initial forward. But certainly pays off for him with the extra relics. He has now 4 relics to 1 right against his legitimate opponent, and Zupamann TCing the neutral gold here and his secondary gold. Was a nice move. Bogsauce was just here with his scout, so if he's paying attention, he might or might not see this. Looks like he has Town Watch as well, because his line of sight is significant here. But I don't think he's gonna commit any army to stopping that TC from going up. He's mainly miss-targeted the Treb here. The builders will definitely go down to Castle Fire, chasing the Treb that was close to the TC, but this TC is a goner for Zupamann, leaving you with 2 TCs only and a pretty cramped base here. Now dropping a market to adjust his eco a bit. Might be looking to actually buying Imperial Age here, and he would need a defensive castle of his own as well, I believe. Maybe drop it near some of his resources here just to delay the aggression, but still adjusting his eco a little bit. Now comes the Imperial Age take, but Bogsauce already with whooping 4 traps out here, so he's going to break through easily. He has some conquistadors to do some raiding as well, but maybe able to just use the conquistadors to guard the traps. And Zupamann with 16 military. There are of course skirms in the mix here, but with cover fire from the castles, the skirms will not get close just yet. So full armor upgrades for the skirms here. And if Zupamann gets the unique tech for the Lithuanians as well, there will be even a bit more armor for the skirms. But archery range being targeted by Bogsauce now. This is looking grim for Zupamann, who is behind 700 in the score here at the moment. Now taking down the barracks as well and the blacksmith. So this could stop the actual scale barding and forging for Zupamann here. This is huge, because he can't really commit to knights as easily either now. We won't be having the option to get armor for the knights, and of course drops a new blacksmith in the back here, but that's gonna take some time to build, even with 1 villager. Traps will be moving forward there now, even with the Mangonel to support to aid against Skirm Fire, and Zupamann heavily housed now after losing buildings production TCs. And dropping some stables on side, so wants to maybe go for a counter-attack here, but this house business is still huge and only 1 villager building houses here, but dropping a castle that should secure some pop space, like 25 pop right here once the castle goes up, so he is almost fine, only now missing a house. And the blacksmith is back up. Imperial will be kicking in for Zupamann. Fortunately, where is he taking it? He's taking it over here, so that's not subject to trap fire. But his gates are open, traps coming in, a bit of pathing issues for the traps here, but look at the Mangonels and the Kongs, and bring the Kongs in as well for defense here for Bogsauce. I'm sure he will do it. Imperial is in for Zupamann, but his castle is out of position here to deal with the traps. He will be losing a trap war, I believe. What Bogsauce getting right now is getting some kind of, he's getting guilds, so he wants to use his market to his advantage, and now dropping even a forward castle there. This could be considered a one of high castle, I believe, because this all of Zupaman's base is going down. There is fleeing towards his TC on the neutral side here, but Bogsauce has scouts here as well. He knows something's going on over here, so it's just a continuous push, denying the core resources of Zupamann and Zupaman's home base, and I feel like we will be seeing the GG call soon here. Look at the villager counts, not too uneven here, but Zupamann should be having the weaker eco here. He's floating some resources, but he's constantly housed due to losing houses and could be losing his castle at any point as well. He has Treb queued, but the Trebs and Mangonels and Kongs of the Bog Sauce will do work here and stop any aggression. Zupamann not even using his monks here. He could have tried and gone for some conversions here, maybe. But we'll lose the monster as well. We'll lose his single relic and the one advantage he would have with his knights. Losing the monks here, just chilling out. I'm a bit surprised to see Bogsauce not addressing the other side here as well, but I'm sure he feels confident on the push he's actually doing on this side. He's taken out 3 TCs by now, that buys him of course the eco lead by far here with his own 3 TCs working for him, dropping some more stables as well. Wants to maybe go for light cav raids and put a stopper to stuff here. Treb forward for Zupamann though, he has tanked into Cavalier as well. He does only have the 12+1 now because he lost his 1-3 with the 1 relic. And Bogsauce still with 4 Trebs alive should easily be able to handle the castle of Zupamann on this side. Some panic houses coming up for Zupamann again. He may or may not be... well, it's not housed, he's at 106 pop. So population is pretty similar for the players. But looking at the ecos, Zupamann, not too bad eco, all things considered either. So nice move to move his eco to this side. But I still think Zupamann will just struggle to recover from this. He's down 2000 in score. His KD is 19-1 for Bogsauce here. That's pretty ridiculous actually. 20-2 by now. Cavalier get in for Bogsauce here. No quick walls from Zupamann, from Bogsauce on this side, but Castle doing some work here. Cavaliers maybe going down a bit needlessly here, but I don't think Bogsauce worries too much either, because with Zupamann's RV forward means Bogsauce could extend his forward inside Zupamann's base and take out yet another Castle and TCs. And if this production is taken out, it's GG for Zupamann for sure. Bogsauce also with Cavaliers of his own. He knows he has denied the relics, so he's with the +2 against +2 here, but +1 attack for Zupamann's Cavalier. So Zupamann's Cavalier are stronger at this point. There are some skirms in the mix as well. They won't really contribute much in this sense, since Bogsauce isn't committing to conquistadors anymore. But still, it's army. Trebs going down, I would almost say needlessly for Bogsauce here, but he is in a massive score lead here. Don't think he will mind too much losing one castle here. Has some Mangonels on the field still. They are useless against Cavalier actually, so Zupamann fighting nicely back here. I think Bogsauce is surprised that after losing so much, Zupamann actually is floating more resources and able to sustain armory protection here. But look at the queue from Bogsauce here. He's queuing way more Cavaliers here, also getting hand card finally, so he wants to boost his eco income even more. So Bogsauce looks like his eco is weaker, but that's also because he's spending so much in upgrades and just now getting forging for his Cavalier line, meaning he will get a +1. So KD is still impressive for Bogsauce, 42-31 here. He is in the lead. Will be addressing these skirms at some point now, going on to attack them as well. Nice awareness from Zupamann as well to go into his former home base to deal with the Trebs and Mangonels here. Not really much to reclaim for Zupamann here. Bogsauce is now taking his gold and has his own castle to protect it, but I still think this is Bogsauce's game to win. He's with a 2000 score lead now, chasing down skirms. Needs to deal with his castle low, but if he does and needs with some of the protection as well, there's simply nowhere for Zupamann to go, although he's extending impressively to the sides here with some food eco. But some raids from Bogsauce on this side should set back Zupamann yet again, and he might just see it very soon. Here come the Cavalier going in for the raids. We'll probably kill off all of these 10 to 12 villagers here. Yeah, villagers going down for Zupamann here. 111, fighting valiantly Zupamann, I must say. He's holding on here and is kind of secure his eco-ish here with Castle and DC, but feel like he's still only delaying the inevitable here. He's matching the two numbers, but those are mainly skirms. So he will need pikes of his own, and he's pulling up the barracks now, but he's fighting against 7 stable production as of traps here, so I don't think Bogsauce will let this game go, and his Spanish push will work out for him here. So house is going down for Zupamann, nothing too significant here. He will just rehouse to support population, but he's very cramped up in the corner here now. Actually getting conscription. So Bogsauce wants to boost his army numbers and production even more. It's 33 to 13 military for now. So I don't really see any way back for Zupamann from this. He does have pikeman tech though, but I think halberdier is out of the question. He doesn't really have the food for that upgrade. Sends Scurps in now to deal with the forward trap from Bogsauce. I don't really see why Bogsauce is sending a Turbine unprotected like this, but he should easily be dealing with this both both Zupamann and the skirmishers here still, because he has cavaliers of his own now. Taking the long way around, of course, because this is an enemy gate, so they have to take all the way around here. But there's a massive number of cavaliers here doing work for Bogsauce. He could even target the castle with all these cavaliers, considering the castle is at half HP here. But he wants to get rid of the trap, obviously. And still stocking up on army numbers here, getting upgrades for his own. What is it? Some kind of ranged unit he might be going for, skirms maybe, of his own. He may be going for... Zupamann may be going for skirms of his own just to make sure that he can handle the pikes of... I mean, Bogsauce might be going for skirms just to handle the pikes of Zupamann here, so... It's like a little bit. Going in for some raids here. See some unfinished buildings. Still keeps attacking houses though. I mean, why not? If you can take it out enough houses, that impairs your opponent's ability to produce, but it's still 115 pop space for Zupamann here, and Bogsauce idling his army at the moment, probably waiting for a moment to attack. He could even use his gold to buy some stone down and just drop another castle and be done with it. But his saving up on military numbers is 40 to 23 military now. He really needs to charge soon, as Zupamann is going to the side here. Zupamann floating lots of wood and gold, but that's about it. So struggling a little bit for food here. But getting the Bogsauce now getting elite conquistador for his conquistadors here. So he's committing conquistadors. I can see why he would do that, because they will be able to handle pikes nicely as well. Look at this. I wouldn't say one-shotting, but keep the cavalier out. Just target the pikes here with the conquistadors and should be fine. Then let the cavaliers handle the shrubs, and that's 200 gold down the drain. Zupamann already now down 3000 points. Yep, both traps down for Zupamann. Zupamann chooses to hold on down, probably going for the tactic of exhausting his opponent here in this best of 5 set. But it's Bogsauce with a massive military lead here now, 39 to 19. Skirms in the field, so send the cavaliers in now. Needs to deal with the skirms here, not let them get free hits on the conks here. But skirms backing off towards the castle, of course. Bogsauce needs some siege of his own now just to deal with the castle, and he's sending one turn for 2 traps forward now. And a monk out for Zupamann here, going to annoy a little bit and try and convert some miners here. Looks like Bogsauce is just tasking villagers to deal with monk, and why not? Because he's in the leading position, he has lots of army. Only 19 military now for Zupamann against Bogsauce's 41. And the populations as well is more than 50, almost 60 more population for Bogsauce here. I think Zupamann will lose this castle, and surely that will have to be the GG for him, losing the defensive castle here. Now the cavalry can just run in and it's over. GG is called. Bogsauce takes his home map, and we will be moving on to Zupamann's home map for the game 3. Just a quick look at the stats here again. So as it's correlated then for Bog Sauce, obviously the KD will have 126 to 84 in the end. Not too shabby. Buildings raised 71 total. Incredible. He took out the whole home base of Zupamann. Uptimes very similar for the two players, even though Bog Sauce went up with a few more villagers. And the relic gold probably significant here as well for the consistent army production of Bog Sauce. So moving on to game 3 here, guys, then we will have Zupammann's home map, which is Baltic. So I can see we see the civs chosen here. Zupamann, this is his home map. He's picking Malians for this one. Not a bad civ at all for hybrids maps like this. With Malians, you have all your wood buildings are cheaper, so you could dock very early. You could go straight for the dock from the very beginning, actually. So that should leave you with an advantage. Also, when adding more docks to gain the water control here. Bog Sauce, on the other hand, choosing Italians, also great water civ. They have some fantastic naval bonuses, like their fishing ships cost less, and dock technology is cost less as well. Advancing to the next stage cost less. Fantastic water civ Italians here. But this is a hybrid map. You see there are crossings on either side here as well. Could be easily wall off, obviously, but also invites for some land aggression without needing to land to get your opponent. So let's just fast forward here a little bit and keep a little track of the villagers here. Looks like they're pretty even here. And see if we can catch any feudal action. So first dock going up for both players, obviously, but it's the Malian player completing his dock first. That's the cheaper wood bonus probably playing in here. Both players adding fish. See lots of fish on hybrid maps like this. You want to fight for water, you want that extra fishing common. Italians, especially with the cheaper fishing ships. You see Bog Sauce already with 2 out, will be adding more for sure. Both players adding fish, but there are still cheaper for Bog Sauce. Surprisingly enough though, it's going to be Zupamann first to the feudal age here, dropping his second dock as well. And Bog Sauce still only on 1 dock. That already leaves Zupamann in the position to extend or take the water lead. Huge from Zupamann here, noticing Bog Sauce's docking. And actually a loomed villager, but still enough for Zupamann to pick him off, taking off a villager, evening out the villager counts here. There are more fish for Bog Sauce here, but committing to this fight. I can see he's sacrificing his scout, but he's delaying the second dock a lot for the Italians player here. And look at the armor production. To look at the Bog Sauce actually attacking Zupamann's villager as well. So, but that's the third dock of Zupamann being denied. Not as huge of a deal. They're trading scouts here, trapping the scout. Almost their nice move from Zupamann could. Yeah, he will still win the fight here with a lone villager. So Bog Sauce will either need to bail or just take the fight here, weaken and delay the third dock a lot. But looking at army numbers, 1 versus 1 here, but there are already another fire ship. More fire ships in queue for Zupamann though. He's not missing resources. His attention has just simply been divided too much in the fast speed here between all the things to do. So he was forced to fight here. Forgot apparently to go for docks production here, or maybe he thinks he has the upper hand already. But Bog Sauce is also adding fire galleys, and he's adding from 3 docks, so he should be able to match the numbers of Zupamann soon. So military only 1-0 for Zupamann here. I'm a bit surprised to see that, considering committed to 4 docks by now. But he's producing out of 3 of them now, could still be getting the numbers advantage. But here is fighting on Bog Sauce's home field here, needs to pull his fire ship back, and this will probably die before he could get back home, but the reinforcements will be close. 2 fire galleys nearly completed here for Zupamann, but he takes the fight there. Probably didn't realize it wasn't going all the way home here, just trying to pull away. And it's now they are now at even numbers, and of course a bit weakened ship from Bog Sauce here, so Bog Sauce will lose this fight with his supply unit as well. They are both now producing from multiple docks, but I see 4 docks for, or 4. I need to look into Bog Sauce's 2, 3. Okay, so he has 3 docks producing, but he's producing, but Zupamann producing from 4. So Zupamann should be able to have the naval advantage here, but he is not pulling away his weak ships here, so he is arguably losing ships needlessly here. He's down. Well, he still has the army lead, but he's not keeping his army collected, so he's taking some questionable fights here, but brings them close now. But here goes the demolition rafts from Bog Sauce, and if he can get some hits in, this is huge for Bog Sauce here. He will get the demo hit, he will almost take out fire galleys here, and Zupamann should retreat here to save the ships, I believe. But committing to what fight, there's another demo raft here. Might be going for the fish or simply gathering some scouting intel here for Bog Sauce. Not a bad move at all. He's looking for the other docks or maybe the fish here. Could even be looking for the villager here. He knows there is a weak villager, he'll mad. So that could be his plan, but he's not going for it. And looking at the numbers, it's 7-2 for Bog Sauce here now, and he's really challenging Zupamann on Zupamann's home map here. Zupamann will now be losing some fish. He's not adding more at this point. Probably wants the water control first, but it's 4 fire galleys to 3 here, and they're all weak for Bog Sauce. Imagine a demo here just in this group here to make the fights even easier. But Bog Sauce pulling the weak ships away, Zupamann staying forward, both players committing to water again. Taking out some ships here, but looking at the numbers, still the numbers advantage was for Bog Sauce here, at least in terms of total HP here, is 5 ships for Bog Sauce, bringing home the 1 HP fire galley here, wants to repair it over here for sure. But Bog Sauce keeps winning for engagements on water. It's a 6-1 in military, no land action going on at the moment. Bog Sauce has wall off his left hand side, will probably secure his right hand side as well, walling out this goal, which is fine. All the water fighting taking his toll on his eco at home. He has 4 idols total here. But winning on water for now. Zupamann stocking up on ships, but he is releasing them one by one. If he keeps them garrisoned, that should allow him to get to the numbers, because he is on 1 more dock. After all, he should be able to easily outproduce his opponent here. Both players committing to feudal fighting now. Bog Sauce arguably the closest one to the next age. Zupamann taking a good engagement here, taking out 1 fire galley from Bog Sauce, but here comes the demo raft again. Will probably get a kill here, or weakens all of the ships. Huge hit. And ships with roughly same HP here, but 2 full HP ships from Bog Sauce, so some micro is sorely needed for Zupamann here. Get some hits again, but a bit too impatient on this production still, I would say. Imagine garrisoning inside the docks and baiting maybe this Bog Sauce's fire galleys to go attack the docks, and then be surprised by 6, 7, 8 fire galleys popping out. That could have been a play here. But population is pretty different, same value counts for both players. I think Zupamann could potentially struggle for food soon, because he's out of fishing ships. He has not committed to land control. He still has the barriers though, that helps out a little bit. But here come Bog Sauce's fire galleys forward to destroy Zupamann stocks now. He is garrisoning inside the docks, will be getting his numbers up. And Bog Sauce feeling his 1 water now. He has a few more fire galleys at home, while trying to take out docks on his opponent's side here. Zupamann meanwhile preparing maybe for some land aggression here. You could drop a rage or stables or whatever forward here and make some surprising land aggression. He has a barracks already, so he could drop stables or barracks and go for some kind of offensive play on the side here. But we now have 7 fire guns out for Bogsauce here. Zupamann only with 5 military total. So not taking the best engagements on water, might even lose a dock, and Bogsauce going to the castle age. Committing only to 2 docks, but still winning water and keeping his fish eco alive here. Italians, cheaper fishing ships again, could be a massive fish boom here for Bogsauce. Zupamann immediately, on the other hand, getting close to the castle age tick as well. And if he can get some land aggression going, that could be huge for him, because at the moment Bogsauce doesn't have any army response at land, so he will need to drop a barracks or whatnot to deal with the forward. Actually, in this case, maybe ranged units would be a more viable option than a stable, because Bogsauce could just drop a barracks here and have some spearmen or pikemen out in castle age, whereas if Zupamann had committed to an archery line forward here, just the barracks wouldn't have been enough for Italians. He would have needed the range and skirms as well. But I wouldn't be surprised to see any forward siege from this side from Zupamann as well. He's in a nice position to do so, although lacking a bit in the wood department here. He's 11 wood though, so that should adjust itself. But taking into the bloodlines now, so he wants to go for the cavalry forward here. No immediate opening to pull through, and Bogsauce with some awareness here, expecting some kind of land aggression now, because Zupamann simply isn't on water anymore and needs to go to alternative options here. So Bogsauce has simply 1 water here. He should be fish booming more as Italians, I would say. At least if he could sustain it wood-wise. He is dropping military buildings in double barracks. So did he scout forward here? He didn't really, but he's expecting then the Malian to go for some kind of mounted units play. He's also getting more galleon water, just wants to really secure that water eco lead that he has. There's also a weak villager here that he could easily pick off and even decrease Zupamann's villager counter. They are at an equal amount of villagers here, and Zupamann of course committing to farms here since he doesn't have fish eco anymore. Another TC going up from Bogsauce here. Zupamann is in the castle age as well, but sticking on his 1 TC play here and dropping forward siege now. So this TC should be an easy target for any kind of Mangonel's offensive, or if he adds 1 battering ram that will crush these palisade walls with light paperwork and provide an easy means to take out production buildings here. So Knights on field, +1 defense for now. Needs maybe a few numbers for this surprise attack to work, but Bogsauce, of course, expecting some kind of forward to come. He has 1 water after all, so he is patrolling the shores now just to make sure that Zupamann isn't redocking anywhere, and he isn't. So that leaves Bogsauce with the impression that something will be happening on land. He's walling behind already. He's a Mangonel Monastery coming forward for Zupamann, and he's opting for the Mangonel here. Let's have a look at Zupamann's eco. Should be a bit weaker considering he is on 1 TC. He has a market to adjust. He's floating quite a bit of gold here now. Could easily use that to get other units out. Or he has decent monks with malins as well. They do have redemption. He's committing to another monastery, so he could be going for some kind of monks play here. Monks siege and a few knights here. It's about to break through. We'll have 6 knights ready to, no, 5 knights here ready to run in and do some raiding here. We'll easily pick up this one. She's weak as well. But House Walling stopping any further progression for now, but Monk is out, Mangonels are out, and he's adding more knights as well. Doesn't look too bad for Zupamann here, considering they are on equal threats here, but Bogsauce also committing more on water than Zupamann did. Water control significant on Baltic, but doesn't help you if you can't defend enough on land. But Zupamann taking out production here, has Mangonels attacking both production and blacksmith here. Committing to the knight's production here, also a couple of more monks. Could have definitely gone for the relics as well, since it's here anyway. But with monks on the field, that renders the option of defensive monks for Bogsauce not as an option, but Bogsauce dropping, committing to a castle here with 13 builders. That one will go up and the knights will need to bail very soon. Unfortunately for Zupamann, they can't see this castle going up, so that's huge. That's a nice way to stop a siege push like this, dropping a defensive castle. So castle is out, no reaction, immediate reaction for Zupamann, but he pulls off and sees it. So the best play for Zupamann probably to try and loop the whole way through, around and break in here instead, but then there are fire ships here to make sure there aren't any offensives coming on from the different side here. Still looking for a breakthrough point for Zupamann. He is heavily housed, he is slightly behind the population, but that's also water population for Bogsauce, so I would say on land they are pretty equal here. Now getting the relic, sniping a builder as well, taking out some map vision with an outpost here, and going for some nasty conversions on the wood line of Bogsauce, so again some useful annoyment here. There's even a weak builder here that this converted builder could deal with. So bringing monks forward again, this must be really annoying to deal with, seeing some monks on the outside of your walled wood line to take and convert your units. So Bogsauce still with a significant eco lead here. He has been committing, he probably bought this castle in the end unless he was very heavily on stone at that point. He's adding stables of his own. So questionable decision considering there are monks on the field there, but he could also be, he's controlling water, so he could be thinking about a landing here. And a landing, masterpiece landing, could be perfect here with a transport ship would say 5 knights here to just transport over and raid Zupamann's economy, and everything of his army production except the barracks is forward. So great option for Bogsauce for a counter-attack on land here. Has the fishing ship working for him. Italian fishing ships, no joke, they are cheap to produce, and look at him queuing. Genoese crossbowmen, nice move from the Italian player here, queuing the perfect defense from his castle here. Genoese crossbowmen simply shred mounted units. They are fantastic against both knights and camels, so he should be able to deal with this nicely. Now stone walling behind here as well, so Zupamann's knights, they just won't be allowed to come through here. But they are, however, taking out docks, so that delays Bogsauce's fishing for a bit, but Bogsauce could simply redock further away and he should find his eco. Is a bit imbalanced at the moment, lots of food, wood and gold, not so much food, but that could probably be said about Zupamann as well, floating wood and gold mostly here. Now dropping a forward castle, so with his earlier imp here is almost 50% imp, this could be huge. He could take down the one castle of Zupamann here. Still he would need some answer to the Genoese crossbowmen here. But they are really slow to create. To see it's taking forever just to make a few of them here. And University now for Bogsauce probably wants ballistics and the appropriate upgrades from the Genoese here. No upgrades for now. And he lost his blacksmith here as well, so he will need to drop a new blacksmith somewhere to get the archer line upgrades, but another defensive castle in the back as well to secure even more gold for him, even though he's floating lots of gold at this point. So only 2 villagers building this forward castle, but it will go up, and Bogsauce is in a position to buy Imperial Age here, so he could adjust his eco to get to the Imperial Age. I think he's using the market quite a bit now to afford some upgrades here. He's getting 45 walls as well for these walls, but what's that going to do against Trebs here? You need to react immediately once he sees his opponent reaching Imperial Age here. This is in a rush for Bogsauce now, getting the Imperial for himself to be able to handle any forward Trebs. Mangonel still on the field of Zupamann, so nice work of him to keep them alive here, dodging the castle fire as it went up. But how does Zupamann deal with the Genoese crossbowmen? He has the Mangonels, and there are not a too scary amount of Genoese crossbowmen here now, still missing all of the upgrades. But that means for Zupamann to keep his army here alive. Zupamann getting quite a few upgrades here now. Has he extended his boom on land maybe? Let's have a look. He's still on the 1 TC. So it's went 1 TC imp here. And it's at 72 pop total, so he's significantly behind his opponent in that sense. His opponent being on actually 4 TCs now. But traps are coming on the field for Zupamann, and that should be really tough for Bogsauce to handle at this point. Because he doesn't really have any mobility in Knights or Light Cab here, although he could easily take into that from his stables. But he will be having to deal with Zupamann's Malian Knights here and Magnum and it will be a while until Bogsauce can queue traps of his own. Only one trap firing for Zupamann here, but it's still enough considering there won't be any trap counter fire. But I think the trap might be... No, it's going for the castle. Looks like they was going for the barracks as well, but of course they would be going for the castle here. So, still water control for Bogsauce. Haven't really seen any forwards. Imagine if he did a transport ship and just transported a few archers or raiding units, light cab, knights, whatever. He could have done so much damage on this side, but he's not committed to that. He's almost at double the villager, but under constant pressure from his opponent here. And of course you need to address the forward at home as well. So forward castle will deal with the pikeman here for Zupamann, no problem. Castle will go down for Bogsauce, leaving it an opening here for the knights to run in. But then again, Genoese crossbowmen are ready for action here. They have the +2 now, so they have the bodkin arrow and everything. Both players getting infantry upgrades now, so infantry also an option for Zupamann here to go for the man-at-arms line against the Genoese crossbowmen, because they have more piece armor. But questionable forward from Zupamann there, running right into the pikes. But look at the score evening out here now. Even though Bogsauce has almost twice the villagers and a fantastic fish boom working for him, Zupamann still extends his forward and is in a great position here now. Taking a long swordsman. Knights were a mistake. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I see. Well, it wouldn't have been a mistake if you'd gotten through to raid, right? So I can see why you did it, but against Italians with the Genoese, maybe short-lived option. But I see there are barracks here on the field now and long swordsmen incoming. Just get the numbers up. They should be able to deal with the Genoese crossbowmen just fine. It's a group of 13 of them at the moment. But traps looking... well, there is a castle defending on some monks, so they're not completely out of the question here. But foremost one, arguably a bit undefended here now. Still successful push from Zupamann, I would say. Now adding lots of swordsmen and another monk and Mangonel. So committing to his forward play here with his still 1 TC, meaning he can afford more army than his opponent. Meanwhile, Bogsauce is going for map vision. Wants to make sure and no attacks come from this side, so he's adding an outpost. Nice map awareness there. And he's extending to the back to get his gold income going. He has still a much more healthy income going, can afford another castle as well. And they're both in Imperial Age. So long swordsman out for both players, but Zupamann has the both attack and well, he has the extra pierce armor anyway for free as Malins, but deals with Bogsauce's own long swordsman here and extends his forward with traps while adding lots of more long swordsmen. Both players going for long swordsman here, but Bogsauce taking into two-handed swordsman here, something that Zupamann will be needing at some point as well, but with long swordsman in before for the Italians player here, he should be winning these engagements easily against the long swordsman of the Malians player. Still long swordsman doing work here, taking out production, forcing Bogsauce up against the corner here. But also rebooting to the sides here. Still sustaining the population lead, has to be said. Quite a bit of this is on water, still a few fire ships roaming around, so won't really be any returning options to water for Zupamann. Patrolling here, attacking the long swordsman coming in all the way from home for Zupamann as well. So monks doing work as well, getting some conversions in here. Looks like Zupamann is going even for the Geppettos here to and dropping another castle with only 2 villagers here. Seems risky, but he has some army to back it, of course. So I guess the two-handed upgrade hasn't been prioritized by Zupamann eco-wise yet, but could still consider taking it if he has the numbers, which is still supplying a bit of numbers here, but not really on the production. There we go. So also adding some more knights, but is he cancelling on him? No, he's adding knights. So maybe going for trying to get some raids in. But 200 swordsmen pushing back here. Quick walls the castle here, so without no ranged options, Zupamann could save his builders here, but there are Genoese crossbowmen here, so they are dealing with the castle builders here. So the second floor castle for Zupamann not going up here. Middle back and forth, 200 swordsmen in for Zupamann as well. Again, this should be helping him in pushing back the Genoese here, but we have to say as well that Bog Sauce's eco, especially food eco, supports way more army production here than for Zupamann. So looks like he's pulling back here, sends the long swordsman in to deal with the castle. I think Zupamann will need to bail on this forward castle and his forward losing a monk here as well. Looks like his forward is put on hold here while Bog Sauce is extending to the other side now with almost enough stone to drop a castle. No wait, he's dropping a castle already. So now finally he's going for the counter attack here, and maybe he will actually be able to stop the forward completely on this side and fight Zupamann back on this side, and in the end it might be Bog Sauce's game after all, but it's not over at all. I was seeing some long 200 swordsmen from Zupamann over here, but that could have been conversions then, because there's still no 200 swordsmen prioritized for Zupamann here. A bit too weak for the eco for that, but probably also wants to have the... Oh, there they are. This 200 swordsmen is in for Zupamann, so I'm missing the upgrades going on here. Anyway, look especially at the Pierce armor for Malian non-swordsmen here, means the Genoese crossbowmen won't really do much against them. But here's the forward castle for Bog Sauce, committing really heavily to it, but now he could get trebs out on this side and forcing defensive trebs on Zupamann here. Zupamann queuing trebs both forward and at home actually, so he's committing to his forward still, even though he's being vastly outnumbered in the military here. 63 military to 11 at the moment. Villager counts as well. It's Bog Sauce with 100 more population here. So Bog Sauce with the score lead, with the population lead, the massive military lead now. Although not adding any traps at home. There we go, there's a trap at home for Bog Sauce as well. So he could address this castle, but he will be meeting facing a trap war with larger numbers for Zupamann here. But then again, if Bog Sauce is able to break through here and get some raids in and do some damage to Zupamann's home base, it's over for sure here. Eco also significantly weaker for Zupamann here against Bog Sauce's now probably 6 DCs, 1, 2, 3. Ah, well, 3 DCs is a market, so he lost his base here, but still has resources in the back. Massive gold income. Zupamann has some gold in the back here as well, so none of them are running out of gold just yet, but just looking at the populations here, it's almost double the population for Bog Sauce. So with these kinds of army numbers, he should still be able to take the win home. So Zupamann engaging here, he's engaging with both Scott, but he's taking against a much larger force here. Has some traps to deal with the offensive trap though, so he will probably win the trap war here, but will lose his own traps in the process. Meanwhile, both castles are down here for the players. Some repairs and traps for Boxos here. So his forward not sustained a lot of army here, but look at more uh, barracks being added as well. And at this point, Boxos being in the period could also opt for the Condotieros here for a cheaper unit, I would say. Let's see. Actually, it costs more, but he has more HP than the champion. So that could be a play here as well, to go for some condotieros. They're just slightly more tanky and would do better against at least 200 swordsmen. They would do better, I think. So 200 swordsmen doing work. Now wants to clean up the forward of Boxos here. Oh, Zupamann here. I mean, Boxos wants to clean up the forward. The Zupamann here will take out this production. And Zupamann, what's his eco setup like at the moment? Still voting resources, able to produce a little bit now. But Boxos going even for the champions now. We'll have champions against only 200 swordsmen for Zupamann. And Zupamann's base still under attack. I'd love to see some stables on this side for Boxos now. Just a little bit of knights or light cab or anything to deal with threats more easily here. Significant military lead, of course, for Boxos here, so he shouldn't have any trouble still taking this game, all things considered. Doesn't even go for repairs on TC here, but could just drop a lumber camp or something to still be gathering resources here. Now champions going forward for Boxos here. Should be dealing with this threats, will probably get at least one kill before Zupamann can pull back, and with no defensive castle there, with no means of adding another defensive castle, I'd say a commitment to champions or whatnot here will be enough for Boxos to finish off his opponent on this side. Chasing the traps, those are expensive units, going down like paperwork to champions attack here, and Zupamann calls it GG. So Boxos actually taking Zupamann's home map here, and brings the score to 2-1 for Boxos. GG. Quick look at the stats here. Should be a significant eco difference in the score for Boxos here, being fish booming, and KD also in his favor. More buildings raised for Zupamann though, so that's just something I was on forward being successful for quite a while, but falls behind to army numbers in the end. Boxos holding on, making use of his greater eco, and finally winning the battle on land, knowing that Zupamann can't really re-establish on water, at least not with ease. Impressive uptime to feudal for Zupamann here, being against Italians. You would expect the Italians player with cheaper feudal age to be up earlier, but Zupamann, knowing this about Italians, of course, opting for an early feudal age, and with a bit more patience on water, I think he could have also won the early feudal age water fire galley fights. So let's bring up the next one here. Next map will be on Teutoburg. Here we go, game 4 between Zupamann and Boxos. It's the infamous map of Teutoburg. Map with wood all around, lots of stragglers here that you need to chop to build on terrain here. And you start without your initial scout, so you're forced to go sheep scouting with whatever means of sheep you have. Your sheep should spawn close to the TC for both players, so they have the means to scout with sheep from the very beginning. But still could be a bit unsettling here to not start with the opening scout at fast speed, and you are desperate to find your resources early. Here's the boar placement. Looks decent for Boxos here. I think he should be able to find them with his sheep scouting soon enough, and Zupamann on his side as well. scouting in circles around his TC here. Work should be finding these boars enough. It's vital to find the boars early enough here, but this boar being so far out might not be found until a bit later in the game. So this is Zupamann's second home map, is it? So it's to the Berg for him. See some pawns here where not really worth docking, but if you're in the mood for that, you could of course drop a dock and get some fish boom running for yourself. I haven't seen that in any games of Tudelberg just yet, but it's definitely an option. So we have Goths here. It should be probably expecting some early militia style opening for him, maybe a Drush with your go-to militia, cheaper militia for Goths. So what's huge for Zupamann here is that his boar is so far out he hasn't scouted it yet. And maybe, just maybe won't, so he will be forced to transition into farms or whatnot earlier. But at least he knows the location of his first boar. No, he doesn't. This is disaster for Zupamann here, not finding any of the boars early on. I was 100% sure the sheep went next to this one, but it actually didn't. So he's going straight for the berries instead. Unless he's hoping for some, yeah, probably wants to drop a meal here, go for the little bit of hunt there. With unluck, he will at least find one of the boars in time. He's found this one, so he's fine then. A bit of a tough start for Zupamann, but so far players have had, if they have any idle time at all, their builder counts are even, so then they have had the same amount of idle time. Boxos also going for the hunt here. Did he find his, he's missing two of his neutrals, sheep and also a boar. He's been neglecting in his scouting here with the sheep. Is gone for the sheep eating instead, just to not to go idle for too long. But here are the farms and he's struggling for food there now. Looks like a pretty bad start for Boxos here, also missing both of his boars. So of course unfortunate boar spawns for both players here, but still huge for Zupamann, finding at least one of them, maybe about to find the second one as well. So smart of him there to move around. Maybe he's seen the boar in this area and moved around. Bringing in the second boar, this should leave Zupamann in a nice position to get his scouts opening, probably with Berbers going here and using the scouts both for map control, for vision, and to find his opponent. And with Bogsauce's limited scouting as is here, he has barely scouted his home base, finds the boar, finds the second boar as well, so in the end he's fine, he will have the food, but he's behind two villagers already. Could be a nightmare once Zupamann's initial forward comes in. So I'm just fast forwarding a little bit here to see what Zupamann is going for this time around. I'm suspecting scout here is at 20 pop now, about to go up, missing a little bit of food, force dropping, but then going up to the feudal age, while his opponent is lagging behind in numbers, struggling for food. But feudal age coming in for Bogsauce also in the end, but he will be significantly behind Zupamann here, who should be going for the stable right now. But some militia on the field for Bogsauce provide some vision there. You could use them for scouting, you could use them for a forward attack, but first and foremost he needs to find his opponent and be ready for whatever is coming. His Eco also supports, once he gets to the field age, he could just get the spearman out, because he, from the uptime and from the series up against, he should be expecting scouts coming in now. So moving forward, we'll see the production any moment now. So lucky of him to scout right into the spawn of his opponent. Here he sees the barracks. Goes straight for the barracks with this rush here, instead of looking for an opening and a way to deal damage here. This woodland is pretty exposed for Zupamann, although quick wallable. And Men-at-Arms, meanwhile, coming in for the Ghost player. Must be annoying for sure for Zupamann to have these angry house vibes here running around in his base. But the scouts are out, go for the attack, and villagers attacking as well. Looks like Zupamann could save his wood eco here, with Bogsauce not addressing the fact that the scouts are coming on from the other side. Might save his villager as well. Nice pick off there before the Man-at-Arms upgrade as well. And for the moment, no more army being added for Bogsauce, but at the very least he knows the location of his opponent. But Zupamann is now free to go forward while the Gauss player is committing to his palisade walls. So still open on this side, so if Zupamann gets lucky he will find the opening and just runs right in, but he doesn't know the location of his opponent just yet, will run into the palisades first and then try to look for an opening on the other side. There's already a villager here ready to place the palisade foundations, I believe, so... But still also open on this side for Bog Sauce, so it doesn't look too pretty here. Zupamann is about to find the entry, I think. He's chilling out for the moment, or maybe has something to attend to at home. Dropping quite a few farms and wheelbarrow taking. Villager number has caught up for Bog Sauce as well, so I think his forward paid off for him with the man-at-arms disturbing Zupamann's work. Zupamann needs to address the spearman, but kills him off, losing one scout in the progress, but delays the walls a little bit from Bog Sauce here. So forces some idle time on Zupamann, you know, splits up the scouts to go for the waller as well, so that the walls won't complete just yet, but I don't think he's committing to... Yeah, he's committing to another scout at home as well. So once, Spearman nice in position for Bog Sauce here, will make sure that any scouts reinforcement won't have an easy time. Maybe Zupamann now has seen that it's open on this side as well, so he could send the scouts in that direction. Running into TC fire now, bad news for Zupamann, but looking for the weak villagers here, bails on it just to not lose any more scouts here. But splits them up again, so that Bog Sauce has to divide his attention. I'd say that's a good move with scouts, just cause as much pain as you can and take the villagers off woodlines, any kind of production. Pity that the gathering point was probably set on this side though, and it's actually one villager outside here, so this one might die actually if Zupamann is aware. He is, and he will pick off this woman there, so villager counts now in Bog Sauce's favor still, but he will be losing one, maybe two. But in exchange, Zupamann will also be losing his forward scouts. But gets value from them. It's 29 to 28 villagers now. What's the eco like for both players? Bog Sauce floating, more gold, less food. And looks like both players are at somewhat similar amount of farms here. So now we're just attacking the wall a little bit, being annoying. It's weird that Zupamann chooses to stay on this side and attacking, as his vision would tell him that it's still open on this side. But maybe he's expecting that that has been dealt with since he was last in that area. Actually committing to more scouts here with skirmers as well, so he has the ranged option, forcing a defensive tower from Bog Sauce. That's huge for Zupamann actually, forcing a defensive tower like this, but that means delayed TCs or whatnot for Bog Sauce, and definitely not any forward towers anytime soon. So nice forward decision there for Zupamann. Zupamann now heading in this direction as well. Probably has this army grouped up together because the scouts are moving really slowly now. When they're going to wall, is it close actually? There might not be open here anymore. So Skirm's completely upgraded here with Zupamann attending his eco at home now while sustaining the forward. Bog Sauce pretty close to clicking up to the next stage here. Zupamann also about to click up, but I think he is missing... No, he's not missing any buildings, he will be clicking shortly. There is the cast age click for Zupamann, and Bog Sauce should be following right behind with his ecos at that now, but was missing the buildings, has the market, needs the blacksmith as well. So missing the buildings is pity for Bog Sauce here, so it puts him further behind until the next age, and he will be at least 25% behind Zupamann to Castle Age. Also missing stones or Huskarls. There will be a while until Bog Sauce will see any Huskarls. He has a few villagers outside here, so could be dangerous against Zupamann's scouts if Zupamann is aware and sees it at some point, but for the moment doesn't notice it. So that's actually a hole there, so a nice awareness on Bog Sauce to notice there was an opening there. That's why the villagers were going to struggle their way over here. And Zupamann's scouts not being targeted in at the appropriate moment. So cast stage times 30% different here. Bog Saws up with one extra villager as well, even investing into Spearman here. He has the upper hand eco-wise. He's floating more eco overall here, but is also very lacking in the scouting department. But he knows the location of his opponent. Arguably, that's the most important thing to know. Zupamann, meanwhile, has some grasp of the relics and neutral resources as well. And Castlage is in for Zupamann, going for the knights now. Triple stable knights here. Berbers have cheaper cavalry units, so you could easily afford, or more easily afford, triple stable knights production. So I think it's going to be yet again a 1 TC forward play for Zupamann here. So knights with some upgrades, because it's forging now, so they should be able to somewhat easily deal with Spearman here. Bog Saws tasking his villagers outside now is not in any way able to afford a castle. It could be that he wants to go for the stone. He's teasing the stone now, wants to secure this stone so he can get to the castle and get his Huskars out eventually. Meanwhile, he needs to deal with some annoyment. Defensive monster going up, wants to convert any knights coming forward. Berber's kind of predictable in that sense. But the military numbers for Zupamann very significant here. He will see the TC going up in just this moment, and he should be able to deny it, and that's huge for Zupamann. So chooses not to deal with the TC at this point, unfortunately. If he charged right away, he could have stopped this TC from going up, but here it goes up, and the villagers will be garrisoning and getting some hits in on that. But gets one villager still, and leaves himself in the villager lead for now. But there are 2 TCs for Bog Saws now, still only 1 TC for Zupamann going to the neutral goal to the north there. And leaves his knight attacking here, but this guy only with +1 as well will be dying to TC fire, but well, could be a means to force the villagers staying garrisoned as well. That's a lot of idle time for Bog Saws. 21 idle out of 32 here. That's a disaster for his eco at this point. And let's have a look. He's floating lots of resources, but can't really spend them because at the moment it's lots of food and gold from Bog Saws. That's only a militia line we could go for them. Not really useful against knights here. But he has the market. You could adjust a little bit, get a few more knights out, but he is under heavy siege here with the knights in every direction. Did convert 1 knight though, so that helps a little bit in the process, but this amount of idle time getting Zupamann a 10 villager lead now, even with 1 TC against 2, it's huge for Zupamann. Still garrison in both TCs, although this TC hasn't been under attack for a while, but they are handling knights coming forward, and still a knight going right for a TC. This must be the gathering point of Zupamann stables, causing the knights just to go for the first and best attack. Yeah, but 4 siege coming for Zupamann now. He just doesn't want to give up on his board here, understandably. He's idling his opponent constantly here. 34 villagers, 16 idle right now for Bog Saws. Bringing in some resources, but with the initial tower dropped here, he also can't afford another TC, so that's huge for Zupamann denying that, or forcing that tower early on, really restricting any further expansion for his opponent unless he goes for the market abuse. But Eco doesn't look too sharp for Bog Saws here. He is at 35 villagers against 47, and he desperately needs to do some either counterattack or clean up all these knights forward here. But here's siege, more knights in queue, and Zupamann just won't let this go. He'll just keep harassing and dealing with whatever these defenses comes forward. Let's have a look at his eco again as well. He's floating some resources here, but mainly committing to army production here. Manganel could have been arguably been a better choice here when villagers come in to attack like this, but the ram will do work as well. And knights coming in to deal with the villagers that are attacking the ram, so still get some value there. Defensive siege workshop from Bogsos now, of course, a reaction to the forward siege of Zupamann, who is committing to the battering rams here. Maybe he would try and get rid this section instead and get the knights in the raid here. But the army numbers speak for themselves here. It's still a bit of an army lead for Zupamann, 10 to 5. But the knights, monks behind the walls can deal with knights, of course, getting 2 conversions here, I think. At least one. Is this monk elevated? Okay, that monk was idled. So could be using this monk to convert the other knight as well. So another ram goes down. Imagine mangonels from the hill here instead against the DC. The DC will probably melt to that kind of forward, with only villagers to attack the siege of Zupamann from here. But Zupamann committing to more armies, sticking with its knights play, of course. And understandably so, but 2 conversions for Bogsos here is getting some free military for himself. And now charging against, could have maybe attacked this weak knight here, but lots of things to focus on at once here, so goes for the more urgent part here right now, deals with the ram here. Zupamann consistently producing knights on all of his tables though, so he's committing to his forward, will take this TC down eventually. Still has only the +1. If he had a +2, he could use the knights to take out the TC as well, but with only +1 they will take more damage from TC fire here. But Bogsos is being constantly idled, still with 11 idle inside this TC. This TC has been idled for most of the time and is about to go down to rams. Could mean 8 villager kills for Zupamann here if he gets this TC down. Defensive Mangonel gets a hit here, and Monk's doing work as well, might get another conversion here, but Zupamann either leads or loses the knight here to Mangonel fire, but the TC goes down, villagers are chasing, but converted knight doing work here as well, so another round will go down. That's heavy resource investment for Zupamann going down the drain here, but Zupamann still with more eco to back whatever he's doing here. Staying on 1 TC, but going for the neutral gold, mining a lot of gold. Having some knights up in nowhere there for some reason, but probably something you need to deal with up here. Villager count now a whooping 61 for Zupamann against Bogsos' 36. So he's only, well, right now Bogsos is on to 1 TC as well, but he was on 2 and was producing out of both, so we should have had a villager lead here if he had not been under constant attack on both places. So eco looking sharp for Zupamann here, just extending his eco with 1 TC he has, and just never ever letting go of the pressure. So he needs some means to deal with the monks, maybe some ranged unit or some light cab or something to send in, but first and foremost he needs to break through. So again sending the ram forward, but there is the defensive mangonel here that could deal with the ram if Bogsos is aware, but the score not looking too pretty. Still needs to be mentioned that could be scouting intel as well, as Bogsos is scouting on the map. It's limited to this little section here. He's dropping another monastery and is floating very much gold here, so he could go for multiple defensive monks here, but will it be enough? That's the question. Is at least 2 defensive monks here now, probably going for more for out of both monasteries. Not really moving his mangonel now, which could be dealing with these rams for him, but he's under such heavy pressure, so many places to focus on at once. Will get another few conversions in here, but the knights are in now, and Zupamann sending another few knights forward. So not actually targeting the monks here now, but Big Bogsos calls the GG and never actually was able to leave his base here, so some relentless pressure from Zupamann there. There we go. Having looked at stats, massive scoring for Zupamann in the end, but he had more scouting, he had more military, 20 to 12 at most here. Not huge numbers, but constant pressure making it so tough for Bogsos to hold on. Fun game indeed, but do you think Bogsos had as much fun? I love to see Goths getting punished though. I'd see gods taking punishment any day. Oh, that's the last one. Mayans vs Celts. Is it on moats? That's the question. I'm getting to it very soon. So going to... This has to be Bogsauce's home map, his second home map, and it's Hideout coming next. Alright. Well, let's go then. Another semi-closed map here for the two players. So we have Zupamann playing Bias for this one. Always a strong save on land maps with their cheaper archers, the ability to go for Eagle Warriors for raids and attack and whatnot. But then again, he's up against Bogsauce with the Celts. Celts have fantastic siege. They have also... What's that? Infantry move 15% faster, so they have a nice man-at-arms opening. So he could go for man-at-arms towers here to punish the Mayans in the opening stages. It could certainly be a play. Maybe he won't go for that kind of risky play in the last game in the best of 5 though. But yeah, in the late game, Celts are tough with their fantastic siege with extra HP with their unique tech as well. Or siege workshops work faster. And siege workshop units 40% more HP, unique techs, very significant in late game Celts. Then again, Mayan, Eagle Warriors deal with siege very nicely. They just eat up rams, mangonels, whatever, if they can get close. So let's speed this up a little bit and see if both players are going for the fast castle play here or if they'll be in the feudal action. You never know. The map resources. Sometimes the neutral resources can be really poorly divided here, but looks like both players have on their sides, they have some neutral stone, some neutral gold, but there is definitely more neutral resources on Bogsauce's side here. Yes, one neutral gold here, neutral stone, and neutral gold. So he's kind of won the map lottery in that sense, having access to these resources. See both players playing their close maps here, going for, well, Zupamann is going up at 24 pop here and 23 pop. Could still be fast castle for both, but yeah, 24 and 25 pop. Bogsauce, decent opportunity here, should be able to kick up pretty soon once these buildings are finished, but gets housed. That's bad news. Might not get his second builder out. He just closes that one out, waits for the gold, and goes pretty heavily on gold here. Zupamann, on the other hand, not getting housed, is idled a little bit, but gets the buildings up here, or now only missing a little bit of gold to get to the next stage. But in the end, it's actually Bogsauce kicking up first, but at 25 pop against a Mayans player with 26 pop. So this is definitely giving Zupamann an eco advantage leading into the next age. So once again, I'm gonna fast forward a bit until we reach the cast stage and see what's happening. No barracks or anything yet for Zupamann, and I don't see him going to stone either, so no immediate castle here for him. Might be opting a little bit for the boom here. What's up with the Celts player then? I said pretty heavily on gold. Could be a siege push maybe. But on the other hand, not that heavily on wood either, only with 6 on wood. So what's the plan for Bogsauce here? Very heavily on food on gold here. Is he going for also no military buildings? What is this? Are they both going straight for the boom here? Oh, there's something going on this side for bog sauce. Okay, but it's only. I mean, Celts they chop wood faster. I can grant it, but still only 6 on wood for a forward siege. Once we push like this, it seems tough to sustain this kind of forward. He probably is going to drop a. Okay, so both players are forwarding each other here. Forward barracks for Zupamann on this side, forward siege and monster on this side for Boxos. Interesting. It's going to be a bit hard to follow this. Still, I'm not convinced Boxos has... Well, he's moved more to wood now, realizing he will be missing out a little bit of wood. He has barely any production at all. I think a monk now has the mangonel as well. Zupamann should be seeing this. Yep, he has the line of sight from the gate. So this monastery, unless this is a spectating bug, that's just inside within reach for Zupamann. But siege forward for Zupamann as well. So this will be a battle for whoever can get more efficient forward going. But Eagle scouts for Zupamann. Probably going to be Eagle Warriors. Yeah, there they aren't they Eagle Warriors now. There you go. So Eagle Warriors, fantastic raiding unit, but then again, Celt Siege not to be messed with either. He's a Mangonel pounding away, Zupamann housed and bringing a couple of Eagle Warriors home simply to deal with this siege, I'm sure. Monks won't really help out a lot here against the Eagle Warriors because they resist conversion. And also going Eagle Warriors against Celts could be questioned as well, since Celts have the faster moving infantry and they have man-at-arms line is a counter for the Eagle Warriors, so that leaves the Celt with the upper hand in defending against this kind of forward compared to many other civs. Here are the mangonels pounding away. Both players are going for the one TC play here, no booming. But another TC already going up for Zupamann here, so he wants to secure that neutral goal while being forwarded here. Send some builders in to deal with these mangonels and has the Eagles here as well. Eagles going, are they going straight to the monks? Actually gets a conversion on the Eagle Warrior here. You don't see that too often. So Zupamann loses to a conversion here. Loses both the Eagles, wow! So it hurts not to have defensive army buildings at home when you're forwarded like this. And a nice repair miracle from Boxos here, keeping his mangonels at full HP. Don't quite see why he's pounding away at the barracks now. Could be waiting for more siege to come forward, but if I were him, I would go straight for the TC and aim for most possible damage here. The Eagle Warriors coming in. Monks now at full faith again, so Zupamann needs to address the monks first, gets potentially a cleanup here. Boxos uses, he has a man at arm as well, he's added the barracks forward, so nice defensive measure from him here. Mangolas pounding away, but Eagle Warriors coming in yet again will probably get the kill here now. Nope, chased away and another Eagle conversion there, wow. That's some great monk RNG for Boxos there. Great value from his forward monks as well, and of course the barracks helping out and putting a stopper to Zupamann's forward here. No siege added, wants to clean up the forward home first, and preemptive walls from Boxos here at home as well. Nice move from him, but his eco seems to be lacking. Although that could be said about Zupamann as well, having committed to his forward, losing a TC now, and is with fewer villagers, but escaping of course to his newly built TC down there. Losing one TC to the Celt Mangonels. Celts eat TC, as they say. Yeah, successful forward from Boxos so far, but Mayans can always come back with their strong eco bonus. But losing a lot here, that has to be said for Zupamann, so we'll need a heavy comeback here, but now could maybe commit to his forward. So Boxos' military all forward, shouldn't be easy for him to deal with counter-attack here now, so this is definitely the opportunity for Zupamann to counter-attack. He's relocated his eco a little bit, has to some extent dealt with the forward here, some monks. Yet again, trying to get conversions on the Eagle Warrior here, but dies to Men-at-Arms instead. I'm thinking maybe the play now would be to committing even more to the forward here for Zupamann, because simply because Bogsauce has everything forward. Bogsauce probably with a healthier eco still, very heavy on the wood and gold as he needs for a siege forward like that, but he's dropping 2 TCs surprisingly enough, being subject to a little forward here, but even his villagers could clean this up with the garrisoning and getting his Eagle Warrior down, but he's also sustaining his forward here. But looks like his mangonels have been dealt with, and that's very expensive for Bogsauce, this kind of forward. But the damage has been done, he is still with an 8 villager lead here. He's in danger of losing 1 TC here, but Zupamann backs off. Still feels like he needs to deal with the forward at home here, but now I think the worst has been averted. Just go for the monks, get those guys out here. Is he going to drop a TC at the old spot as well? No, just sending some villagers in to help attacking here. Scorps shouldn't be a problem in these small numbers for a couple of Eagle Warriors here, even without significant upgrades. And Ram being repaired here and making some more openings for more siege or more units to come in here. Meanwhile, Bogsauce is dropping barracks at home finally, wants to deal with any eagles that might come in. Ram could easily target production buildings here though, and Zupamann needs to pay attention to his repair villager here, following into TC fire. Might die to TC fire here now. If Bogsauce is paying attention, he could focus fire on the villager here instead of allowing the villager to repair and the TC to go down as it might do here. But now brings the villagers out, will deal with this ram for sure, but forward is at a halt for Bogsauce now. Score is evening out again, villager count is also about to even out, still only 1 TC for Zupamann though, so once Bogsauce can get his eco running, he will be able to produce for more than just 1 TC. But he's fending off here, nice defense, preferring house wall here as well, just to make sure more eagles can't run in. Zupamann staying outside for the moment, maybe looking for another entry or just saving up more units. Yeah, some eagles forward there. 3 versus 1 should be able to deal with the men-at-arms in that case. The house wall isn't up yet, so eagles are free to get in again. Yet again, I would love to see mangonels instead of rams in the event. I mean, it's a resource difference, obviously, but with mangonels you have the range, and it should be just much more easy to take out the DCs from a range. It's easier to defend. So let's have a look here at the resources. Wood and gold for Zupamann, mostly. Same for Bogsauce, I believe, because he's been committing with Bogsauce. Really struggling for resources. Can't get his eco running here because he is under pressure. His forward is also being pushed back. Although Zupamann has lost his main base here. But he has another TC working for him. Bogsauce knows about it, but can't really do it. Bogsauce can't repair... No, who can't repair? Zupamann can't repair his foreign siege because of missing resources. So Bogsauce fending it off yet again, has some eagles causing trouble here for him, and that's massive idle time for Bogsauce. 38 villagers, 19 idle, means Zupamann with the effective villager lead here. Also getting some kills in Bogsauce's eco is in shambles here with all this idle time. And just didn't succeed completely with his early cast late push here after all. I'm betting in the Zupamann's eco, not the best either, is pretty heavily on gold, but has the market, could use the market to adjust here. These men-at-arms aren't really a threat at this point. This TC is what needs to be dealt with on Zupamann's side, and it's also going to the woodline here, so nice expansion there, just keeping the eco hidden out of attack. And a couple of rams going forward now, men-at-arms ready to engage here, but they need to decide whether to go for the ram or for the Eagle Warriors here, and wants to clean up the raiding units, but one TC will probably go down here. Bogsauce not in any easy spot to replenish the men-at-arms either. I guess he needs to pull his 4 men-at-arms home as well, just pull them all the way around and hope they can help out, but it looks like one TC will go down here, and Bog Sauce left with a very unstable eco here with barely even wood and gold working for him here. So he is also, but the problem for Bog Sauce is he doesn't have a market to adjust his eco as far as I can see. So he really needs a market up to be able to make use of the income he actually has here. Now can't even garrison anymore. This TC will go down. Just one more hit from the Eagles here, and this TC is at 12 HP. Should go down here. Men-at-Arms might get a ram kill here, but wow, incredible to see this TC still up. It's like 1 or 2 Eagle warrior hits away from going down, this one. Ram goes down, Men-at-Arms is ready to work, but again, Bog Sauce's eco not working too well for him, considering he can't really make anything else than siege and production buildings from his current eco. Zupamann as well floating, mainly gold, but market abuse could save him here, could leave him to produce any buildings he needs or units he needs. Barracks should be going down here from Bog Sauce, and another barracks being dropped. But still, look at the food eco, only has 4 farmers working, so that's a disaster in terms of Men-at-Arms production. Tries to save his barracks here, but these constant repairs are very costly. Look at the wood eco just going down here, and food, auto location, gold. Instead of saving his barracks, maybe opt for a market instead and make use of your wood income so you could transition that into food and at least make some more defensive units. But he has pulled, so he's creating Men-at-Arms all the way from the other side. Unfortunately, it could be a misclick in that sense, since he already has a couple of barracks here. But gets some Men-at-Arms out after all and is able to fend off yet again, but at the cost of a non-existent eco and no means to produce more villagers. So he's at a hold and at 23 villagers here against now 42 for Zupamann. So this is looking pretty for Zupamann at the moment. He is mining gold, chopping wood and placing farms, so his eco lead will just extend and extend, now adding some defensive scorpions even to deal with the Men-at-Arms somewhat easily here. They have the minimum range though, so once the Men-at-Arms or eagles get close they can deal with the scorp, but puts away one scorp here to save it. Scorpion gets a few more hits in, weakens the stuff here. This Eagle Warrior should be able to deal with both of these guys now, even though they're Men-at-Arms. Scorpion goes down though, good value from Bog Sauce's Men-at-Arms in that sense, but Zupamann though even almost able to drop a castle with this income. Needs a little bit more stone. Where is he getting stone from? Using the market here. The market prices are probably crazy by now. Selling wood, selling food especially is great for now. Looks like Bog Sauce opts for another TC. Why not on the farms here though? Maybe wants to protect the stone for a potential defensive castle area. Here comes a forward castle from Zupamann. And spending lots of his eco to get to this one, but will really stop any expansion from his opponent by doing this. Look at the scores, pretty even still. Zupamann with a slight military lead. I question the castle decision over army lead though, or further siege or whatnot, but he will go up and the Men-at-Arms won't be able to go anywhere once the castle is up, except the Men-at-Arms can go out on this side, but they will never be able to easily get to Zupamann's side. And now dropping a forward blacksmith to Zupamann. He's floating very decent amount of food of gold now. That should mean more Eagle Warriors in queue, and the castle goes up. Where does our blue friend go from here? He is stabilizing his eco. He is at 3 DCs now, has got the farmers working on 16 farmers. That should be enough to sustain triple TC production, except he's opting for Men-at-Arms obviously as the defensive measure here, and adding Men-at-Arms still from further away. With 2 barracks at home, I don't see, well, he's producing out of all 3, I guess, so good call in that sense. But Eagle Warriors will break through once again. This house foundation isn't finished, so they still have an entry, and platoon archers even on the field now for Zupamann, who, yeah, 10 on wood, so he is mainly able to sustain Eagle Warriors here, but having some plume archers on the field as well, even only with the fletching, will provide for an extra raiding unit that could even reach the wood line over here. So no safe spots for Bogsos at this point. I'm surprised not to have seen him trying to migrate with a few waves to get to the wood line over here, for example, or something where Zupamann hasn't really got too much scouting intel. But Eagle Warriors yet again doing work here, keeping the villager count down for Bogsos is 55 villagers to 32 now. Zupamann committing to the 1 TC and the forward here. He knows he is still in an eco lead from his counter-attack counter forward here. So I'm sure he feels in a comfortable position at this point. Now defensive siege workshop for Bogsos. I'm not sure if that's ideal. There are plumes, sure, but there are still Eagle Warriors on the field as well. So Celt's siege, of course, fire faster. That's an opportunity, but it's hard enough to hit the plume archers if you don't have to deal with Eagle Warriors as well. So Zupamann sending out a few Eagle Warriors now to scout the sides. He just wants to make sure that Bogsos hasn't stuck away and put up a TC anywhere in this area. For example, on the neutral resources here that Zupamann doesn't know about either. But army numbers growing significantly for Zupamann here. 16 military to 11 now, adding some siege as well. So maybe the defensive siege of Bogsos will work out after all. This Mangonel should easily be able to deal with another ram coming forward. So Bogsos trying his best to secure his eco here from plume archers, from battering ram going forward, but he isn't in any position to expand. Yep, defensive Mangonel easily dealing with the ram here. And some Minotaurs are out again, still without upgrades though, no blacksmith. Yeah, there is a blacksmith, but still no upgrades for Bogsos and Imperial Age. Crazy enough coming in for Zupamann here. So with traps out on the field, I don't see what Bogsos does against this with Men-at-Arms and Manuels here. And Eco, which is more or less in shambles still. University for Zupamann. Could be going for siege engineers or simply just for ballistics for the archers here. Bogsos committing to his defenses still though. Not giving up. He's mining quite a bit of stone. He could get the defensive castle up, but what's that going to do against the player who is in Imperial Age with traps, taking bracer and adding more Eagle Warriors as well. Men-at-Arms are dealing with an eagle on this side, so a good awareness for Bogsos spotting the eagle coming in from that side, but he's very confined to his base here. Has a defensive tower that protects his gold from the plumed archers here. Looks like he might try for... no, he keeps the Men-at-Arms still. Looks like they're moving somewhere, but Trap is firing away at one TC here. Shouldn't be stopping him from getting to another TC. Quite a few builders going out. Are they maybe wanting to secure this stone for now to get more defensive castles up? It's a defensive castle on the stone here, so wants to limit the forward of Bogsos with a castle on the hill there and secure more stone for himself. Could get walled warriors out to deal with eagles as well, but then again there's the option of the plumes that would make it tough for Celts to deal with anything that's on the field at this point. Imperial Age. Zupamann, I mean Bogsos calls the GG. It ends with 3-2 to Zupamann, and we wish Zupamann the best of luck for his upcoming semi-final on Saturday this week. So quick look at stats again. Very even KD here. But the largest army paying off, of course, the counterattack for the mines happening at the right moment. Not surprisingly, an eco lead for Zupamann after fending off his initial being forwarded. Uptimes here, impressive uptime for Bogsaws. Doing the siege push with Celts looked promising for a while, but Superman was able to escape. Imagine a few knights on the field for Bogsaws in his forward there. If he had the eco to sustain that, maybe going up at a couple more villagers, he would have some knights on the field. He could potentially have denied or at least followed Superman's expansion where he added his new TC. So that's it for me today. I will for sure be back with more streams in the days to come, not to mention the semi-final on Saturday. But for now, closing the stream. Thanks for watching. I'll be passing you along to, yeah, whoever is online.